Hello everyone, Jon Snedeker here with Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. Welcome to another episode of Signing Agent Secrets. Before we get started, if you can, go ahead and comment in below where you're tuning in from today. Thank you so much. Today we have a very special guest by the name of Vladimir K. Vladimir's out of Sayreville, New Jersey, and is just getting started. Vlad, thank you so much for being here.
No problem. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Vlad, so let's talk about your story before loan signings. What were you doing before you even found out that loan signings was even a thing for yourself?
Yeah, John. Well, before signing, I was working as normal people do. I was working as a truck driver, so I'm currently employed and I'm working as a truck driver. And a couple years ago, I was slowly transitioning in interesting in real estate, or just basic understanding how it works. So where should I invest my money? And from that point, everything began to come into me, and lots of information, lots of knowledge, and yeah. And I figured notary signing 6 months ago. I figured it out, and it appealed my it attracted my interest, and I decided, well, let's start.
Absolutely. You know, Vlad, with real estate, there's just so many different things that you can do. You know, as far as lending, you can flip houses, you can be a realtor, signing agent, work in the title industry, you can be an investor. There's just so many different angles to be a full-time landlord. The education is endless. It's like a lifetime sort of learning thing. And so you sort of, we're doing some homework, doing some research, and was there any particular sort of aha moment that said, maybe, you know what, out of all the real estate stuff I've seen, what sort of turned you on with loan signings that sort of jumped out at you? Or was there anything in particular?
Yeah, great question. It's a new skill which really resonates with my inner being and my mindset, because first of all, when I start actually learning some new stuff from real estate, I understand one thing, that you should be a real entrepreneur, and you should set up a real mindset, which is like you should be your own boss, but it's kind of should be very natural for you. So you need to be very, very well organized. First of all, very well disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
And for an instance, it starts with your body. So first of all, you just like, if you can manage your body, I mean, just like healthy life, good food, normal schedule, where we just it's like step by step, and slowly, gradually, I just came to the point like I need to get this new skill as a notary signing, helping people, making them happy, and of course making money of it, and making money out of it.
Yeah, a lot of benefits for sure. That's awesome. And so right now, part-time, full-time, what does the future look like of how you think of, sort of integrating signings into your schedule? Because I know you have a few things going on. So have you thought about maybe how you would be able to, or maybe we could start with your schedule possibly and see, what your thoughts are of how you're going to integrate the signings part-time.
Yeah, my schedule is pretty different from normal people. I'm working overnight, so my start time is 3 p.m., working long hours, like as most of us do,
Sure.
till 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, basically 12 plus hours on a regular basis. But now I'm used to it. It's like kind of normally for me. And yeah, of course, the start is part-time, weekends. For now, weekends only, because I have only these two, I call it little windows, which is Saturdays, Sundays, and slowly going in, maybe one signing a day, like one signing to start, one signing on Saturday, one signing on Sunday. And definitely I'm focusing on working holidays as well. Because I live by myself, I can afford it. But that's what I'm trying to focus. And then from that start, to see how I'm going, to see the dynamic, to see my actually real picture, and maybe gradually going down to notary as a full-time. Why not?
Awesome. Guys, if you're listening, I just want to point out Vladimir's got some hustle to him because he specifically said he's integrating this in weekends and holidays. And so if you are watching and want to know what it takes to get started when you have a full-time job, it's making some sort of sacrifice. You know what I mean? Get something started, creating something special for yourself. Isn't just during that sort of 9 to 5 time frame. Vladimir, I'm not sure if you know this, but one of my mentors, Ralston, that I worked with when I started, his schedule was one of the kind of like the hardest I've ever seen. Is very similar to yours. It was overnight. He commuted from Connecticut to New York City on the train. He worked nights, so it was like 11 to 7 kind of thing. He was off. He took the train back to New Haven, and the guy'd be doing loan signings at 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And I had just the ultimate respect for him because he had every reason sort of not to do loan signings, but he just got after it. You know, he said yes to what he wanted to do, and you know, he couldn't do signings all day because at some point you have to sleep. But I just admire the hustle, and you know, you've already had the thought process to say, you know, what does the future look like for this month and next month? What are the holidays? Sort of pick those out and make that work for yourself. That's fantastic. When I started, it was every day after my 9 to 5. I had a goal of one signing a day every single day, and I did Saturdays as well. Now Sundays is pretty rare to have orders, but they do happen. But it's very common for Saturday. So that's fantastic that you really earmark that out. And you know, depending on how that goes, you know, sort of would determine if going full time makes sense or not, depending on how busy you are. And so when you make or if you make that shift, it's really the number of orders coming to you is going to be the biggest influence of sort of how to make it work full time if you did want to switch. That's an important piece of if you're busy, it's obviously easier than if you're not busy. So it's really pretty that simple. um, Vladimir, do you have any income goals at all? Have you thought about that or not so much so far?
Basically, John, money is not actually a question for me because I mean, not sorry, not a focus for me because I'm not focusing on money because here is why. You need to understand one thing that you're getting new skills. Why? What is your why? Why do you need these skills? Why do you need this story? If you need these skills just for money, and basically deep inside you're not, you don't like what you're doing, it's actually not right. So you need to understand. You need to get to this mindset that okay, what do you need? What do you need to do? You need to see a better version of you. You need to help people. You need to be happy with helping people out with what you do, and you need first of all you need to like what you do. And that's basically my focus is actually, yeah, of course, money, I can't ignore them because I need to pay my bills and my means and all this stuff. But first and foremost, I'm focusing on getting new skills, getting better and better in what I'm doing. And from that point to see how to actually leverage my business to scale up my business or something like that, to focus on money, to focus on getting more orders, but skills first, people first, and mindset first. That's my actually goals.
It's everything. It's everything. I mean, helping people, being fulfilled is a big part of this job. Not everyone does this job for money. I had someone call me a few weeks ago and said, I want to be a loan signing agent because I want to feel important. You know, and he was a retired gentleman, and so there's many different benefits sort of to this job, and there's really no right or wrong as long as you're going in the direction that you want to go in, because it is sort of different for everyone. Everyone has a different why. And I knew that I was very unfulfilled at my day job, and it was sort of easy for me to tell that. You know, you just sort of get down on yourself, right? And you say, you know what, it's time for a change. You know, and how are you going to make that change? Well, it takes that sacrifice that we talked about, and a little bit of energy and effort, and
but John,
the mindset is just critical. Can you maybe touch base?
Sorry for interruption.
That's okay.
This sacrifice is actually, if you know what you're doing, if you know your goals, it's actually not a sacrifice. It's a real path. It's a quick path to go to your goals, because you're sacrificing right now your personal time on weekends and maybe holidays, but you need to understand why, what are you doing and what are you doing for. and you're doing for the bigger goals, because you will do your own boss, you manage your time, you will just schedule. I mean, it's actually benefit. It's not sacrifice. It's a benefit,
Right.
because you need to understand that you're doing it for benefit you in future, to be your own boss and to manage your personal time and to do this. It's not. I'm not saying it's sacrificing. It's just extra job. What I have to do to get my bigger goal. That's it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's really, everyone sort of looks at it a different way, but if it's going to get you there quicker, what are you sacrificing? Well, if it's going to get you to your goal faster, you're just doing the things that you want to do to go where you want to go.
Exactly.
And so you also touched base on the mindset thing. I'm big on mindset. I do think it's everything. 80% of success is your psychology, how you think about things. Why did you say that mindset is so important? What does that mean to you on your sort of personal development and gathering these skills like you're talking about? Can you maybe just touch base on the mindset piece of why it's so important, Vlad? Because a lot of people sort of forget about the mindset piece and the optimism and developing these skills, but you really made it clear that that's very important to you, as it is for me. But what does that sort of mean to you, as it's different for everyone?
For me, it's my background. I mean, it's the thing where I can really rely on. It helps me to go through any kind of obstacles. It helps me to go actually to live like my normal. It is my background, and it's like. It's like your normal condition. It's not a real kind of techniques you having in your mind or whatever, like knowledges. It's like your condition, your normal condition, which helps you, which is your background, which is your like nature. Now it's your nature, and you know what you're doing. And it comes to you like naturally what you do, and you understand how it works. You understand this job. You understand the amount of work you have to go through, and it's okay with you because of because of your nature, because it's so okay with you because it's your nature. That's how it is. And it's not because you can pick a lot of techniques, how to work, how to manage, how to schedule, how to do stuff, be very well organized. But if you don't have it in your nature, sometimes you get very depressed and you know what to do. You feel you're stuck with something. I think this is how it is. But for getting this kind of nature, you need to read a lot, and you need to listen a lot of people with good experience, great experience, and to see what you do. And start doing, as I said, start doing self-managing with your personal health life, with your personal schedule, with your personal like household and stuff. Like to be very well organized and see the difference and being happy with that. So you see the difference. Okay, I can manage a window. Okay, I have this like window for my to go to the ocean or something like that. So to be very well organized in the very beginning, what do you do right now, like with your households and stuff?
Gotcha. That's awesome. Sorry about that. Now, do you think that this is a job? So you've done your homework on the signing agent piece, and you've practiced and all that stuff. Do you feel that this is a job that anybody can do, Vlad, or do you feel that there's sort of required characteristics to be successful before you can start? What's your sort of take on that?
Yeah, it's the same. It's basically, I said, it's all about one understanding and mindset. Once you get this, you will clearly see the point. Why are you doing that? Why do you need that? Why do you need that for? Maybe you need that, not signing, maybe you need something else. But if you get to this, everybody can do that. As I said, it's so natural to understand, okay, I want to help people. I want to work for people. I want to do marketing, all this stuff. It's so natural.
Right. Once you know the why of why you need to do it, the how will come after,
Exactly.
You'll figure it out. Everyone can. So you're basically saying that anyone can do this job once you know what you're doing it for. And when you consider the fact it's really not that much sacrifice, if it's getting you where you need to go, the rest is just, it falls into place essentially, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy. The rest will come and money will come, because as long as you understanding, okay, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's not a hard work. It's going to be just a normal work.
Right.
Money will come, everything will come to you.
Right, definitely. If you're going in the way that, if you're working hard at corporate, you're going to work a hell of a lot harder for yourself,
Sometimes working for corporate, there's a lot of things that you can't, you don't have a control over. Well, in this, what I like about this job is you can control, you can manage your personal time, you can set up your own schedule. Once you get this business way scaled up, you can do basically a lot of good stuff and having a lot of money and be very disciplined and be very happy at the same time.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about this job that we don't really talk about a whole lot, Vlad, is the ability to do it pretty much by yourself. You don't need a team of people. You don't have to hire people. You could literally do everything by yourself. So you're obviously in control of your own destiny when you're making your own decisions, but you don't have to really rely on other people in an office. You don't need to have someone, picking up all the calls or making all the sales. This is just a job that you can really piece together very easily. And it doesn't cost that much to get started. A lot of businesses to start cost, $5 grand, 10 grand, 30 grand for franchises and things like that. This can be, if you play your cards right, this can easily be less than $1,000 to get started. And that on top of the benefits of, creating your own schedule, becoming your own boss, and helping people in your community. It took me a few years to realize how many people I helped in the community. That wasn't like the first reason I got into this sort of business, but when you see the smile on their faces and they know, that they can't do this themselves. They need a signing agent. They need a notary. They can't notarize it themselves. They can't go bring this paperwork to a bank and say, hey, can you get this, notarize this for me? No, one bank is not going to notarize another bank's loan set of documents. It just doesn't work like that. And so they need us, they rely on us, and they're happy that, they were waiting 3 months and then they're finally finished. So, you really do make a great impact on your community. And I've had flights with someone that sat next to me on the flight with someone I did their loan closing with, so they see you again sometimes. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you're helping people and getting it all done at the same time. And of course, the money doesn't hurt too, depending on, who are you getting the order from. Vlad, do you have any advice for people that, we talked about the mindset piece a little bit, but there are a lot of people that are fearful, a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit scared to either do their first loan closing or really take the first step in any business. Do you have any words of wisdom or advice for people that are kind of struggling to get started, maybe not taking the first step or possibly even fearful?
Yeah, this kind of, not actually advice, in my understanding that if you really don't know what to do, how to start, definitely you need a mentor. You need a mentor first and foremost, because mentor is just for getting to you to this mindset, just being close to the mindset. And getting mentor is real help. That's for people who doesn't really like, who's kind of hesitating or still thinking in the process. For people who really decide to do, okay, I know my big why, I know what to do. It's so obvious, just go and do it. Just like Nike logo, just do it.
Do it.
This is the advice, just go and do it physically. And that's basically it. And the other part is consistently educating yourself. Be an avid an avid student of your University of Life. So consistently getting new knowledge, consistently getting new information. It will reveal lots of questions for you. You're gonna get lots of answers to it. So that's basically it.
Absolutely, that's a great point. The more that you learn, the more familiar you become with it. And so for the people that are maybe a little bit hesitant, a little bit fearful, a little bit shy, the more educated you get on it is going to sort of shorten that gap that you feel from your goals of getting started. So when you become familiar, when you become educated, no one's going to knock on your door and just give you all the stuff. You have to do the research. You have to do the homework. Get on Google. Get on YouTube. There are programs out there. And so when you become familiar, you start to learn how this business actually works, how to get signings, how to print paperwork, how to efficiently run your schedule and grow your business and scale like you talked about. When you understand how to do those things and you just haven't done it yet, it's a lot easier than saying, wondering how it all works kind of thing. And when you become familiar with it, the fear sort of lessens a little bit, but you have to just do it. Or I like to say jump, because we were on a call the other day with Lamisha Daly. She's one of our people in one of my mentorship groups. She's like, if you're going to take a chance on corporate, you better take a chance on yourself. And that quote just absolutely stuck with me, because a lot of people don't take a chance on themselves. A lot of people just sort of sit at corporate. And the corporate, there's nothing wrong with corporate, but it's also not for everybody. And so for the people that email me on a weekly basis that are unhappy with their job, you just have to realize that if you took a chance on corporate, it's okay to take a chance on yourself. A lot of people just don't do it because of that fear. And that really, really holds people back from time to time. So we like to address it just because it's a big thing that we get emails about. A lot of people are just not confident because, to be honest, this is a job where, how realtors, they are required to sort of hang their hat somewhere, is what it said. They have to pick a brokerage, and the brokerage is going to train them and be responsible for them and sort of teach them. And, you'll get under someone's wing and sort of, blaze that trail with them a little bit. Well, guess what? Signing agents aren't required to do anything. So it's pretty much a free-for-all, and it doesn't have to be like that. But the idea is you're not required to hang your hat anywhere. And so when people get started, there's this sort of lack of direction. They've literally never seen loan documents before. So how are they supposed to go do loan signings, right? So there's a lot of sort of missing pieces that are very specific reasons why people are a little bit confused when they get started. And we're sort of fixing that. And so
I need to add a little thing. And this job, as for me, because my focus is real estate investing as well, this job will give a lot of opportunity to meet new people, specifically real estate related people. And you will meet, you will have an opportunity to invest, to whatever, to buy a house. So this job will give you lots of opportunities in real estate, especially just personally for me. That's what I'm saying. It's a big benefit, and it's a big plus in this job. By the way, it's being your own boss and having this opportunity. It's just, get paid for it. I think it's.
That's right. I would take a pay cut to do it too. A lot of people, if it's not more, I'm not going to do it. Well, that's fine. You make your own choices in life, right? But I'll tell you, to get in and create your own schedule, become your own boss. Vlad, my stack of business cards, let me see if I shift my favorite. It's huge. It's like 1.5 feet long, with title reps, realtors, investors. I've gone out to coffee with some multifamily investors. I do some multifamily investing myself in real estate. And so your network is your net worth, essentially. Your net worth is your network. But either way, you do get to meet a lot of great people and see who you like, see who you don't like. Now, you don't want to do too much at the closings. You're really just there to take care of the paperwork and take care of their job. But if you choose to network later, that's sort of fair game.
You can do it simultaneously. It's not a mandatory to skip the job or to stop the job. It's a like a life going process, and you can do it simultaneously. If you're really well organized and self-disciplined, it's not a big problem for you.
Gotcha.
And by the way, I have one phrase. I don't want to be cliche. I want to sound cliche, but if you really want to do something in life, you'll find a way out. If you don't, you'll find the excuse. That's how simple it is. It's true. Because even for me, I see it sometimes as just like getting kind of lazy or something like that. And yeah, basically I start doing. I start finding excuses like, oh, you know what, it's far, it's hard. Well, yeah, from that point, yeah, don't do this. So that's it.
Yep. You found out. You got to sort of people. You have to realize that sometimes you have to get out of your own way, right? Like, you're in your own way when you say, you know what, I'm tired, or I don't feel good, or it's late, or it's this, or it's that. It's whatever these excuses are. most people don't realize their excuses. They're sort of rationalizing why not, because they just don't want it bad enough. And if you
Exactly.
wanted it bad enough, you have every reason to do it. Because Jim Rohn says the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do, right? And so the difference between success and failure is the fact that yes, it's easy to do it, but it's also easy not to. And so that's one thing that we really just surf on from time to time. Vlad, I'm going to read you something. I speak to notaries across the country. I want to see if you remember this, okay? Tons of value packed in. Jon is a real professional man with a wealth of knowledge, very informative. I love the fact that Jon focuses on systems, market analysis, and building relationships. Very well structured with an overview of a lot of different strategies. Whether you're already involved in signings or just thinking about it, you need to watch and listen to this. I highly recommend it. Do you remember what that is?
I think I know that person.
That's
I
right.
believe I know that person. Yeah, it's about your course, and it's what I can say about your course and about your mentorship. As I mentioned, that you need to get mentor if you don't really know what to do, how to do. But anyway, you need to get a mentor, a good person with a great experience like you are, which really gives you a short path. It's a short, just which really bring you through all these little ropes and difficulties to real goals, to real focus, to real mindset. I think it's very important, and this is what I like about your mentorship and about your program, because you're very specific. I'm very specific. It very resonates with my inner being, because I'm very well organized and detail oriented. So, and basically what I noticed in your program and in your course, which is very helpful, very specific information in a concise way. This is what I like. This is actually what I need. And I know what now. I know what to do. I didn't get started yet, but I know what to do. I'm in the process of getting my stamp and all this stuff. But the rest is so clear because of you, Jon. Seriously, it's so easy for me. It's so clear, and I know what to do step by step because of you. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate it. At the end of the day, anyone can do this job, but the reason why people are more successful than others is the organization, number one, and the discipline, number two, and not giving any excuses to yourself. And so what Vlad likes about our program is just how detail oriented it is, how specific it is. Vlad is not wondering or guessing the next step. He has everything literally handed to him on a silver platter. It says, this is the blueprint for success. This is the items that you need. This is what you need to do. This is how to set it all up. These are the activities that we do on a daily and weekly basis, so you can model them to be successful instead of wonder, guess, waste time, waste money. Not sure what to do is not a successful thing in any business. And so Vlad is also in our mentorship group. I answer his questions on a daily basis in our Facebook group. And so people become more successful when they have information that's going to take them where they want to go. When I started this business, I had a mentor, but he was sort of part-time, and he was great, but he wasn't doing it full-time, and he wasn't accessible very frequently because of his demanding work hours, and so it was a little bit challenging to sort of piece it all together. When you have all the information that you need, there's no reason not to succeed, right? It's all mapped out for you. And we try to have fun in our mentorship group as well, right? A lot of them still have real jobs, I say, real jobs. And we're just making it all work in there. So we do appreciate the kind words. And is there anything particular that, for the people listening, what do you like best about our mentorship group? If you had to pick one thing, or maybe tell them what it is if you want to describe it.
As I said, you're just walking us through all this little stuff and important, very important stuff to pay attention to, and and you're always there for us. And actually, I like your responses. Like, we're very quick. Seriously, you just like you got the question, and then you got this question asked like in a very short period of time. This is what I like. This is how it should be. Like, I need your help. I'm just getting it. It's actually great, and the rest is so clear. You keep up doing what you do, Jon, and this is a real help.
Awesome. And we also do the conference calls too, twice a month. So we actually jump on live, answer everyone's questions, and then every day, Vlad, they get in there, answer people's questions for our team members across the country. They depend on my answers to run their business smoothly and have less headaches and make more money. So I do take that job very seriously. And yeah, we get in there because people deserve the answers, you know, and that's really what it's all about, is helping our teammates. No one needs to struggle in this business. No one needs to wonder. No one needs to be treated badly by clients or even other notaries or other signing agents as well. This is a business that's really unique. We're all sort of type A independent leaders in our community, but there's a lot of little snarkiness in some of these notary groups out there. So I try to crack the whip in ours to make sure that doesn't happen. But I do take pride in my work and making an impact on people. So we appreciate you with the kind words. We really do. Guys, we're running out of time. Be sure to hire Vladimir King out of Sayersville, New Jersey for your next signing. If you are watching right now, be sure to like and share this video. We also do have our 90-minute free training right on our website, notarysigningagentblueprint.com. It'll show you how I started. I'm here almost 10,000 loan signings later, been in this business almost 12 years by now. And I started back in 2008. I had every reason not to start, Vlad. I had no money. I had no time. I had a full-time job. I did not make excuses. I made it happen. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. You're making excuses or you're making it happen. So you can check out that free training. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.